You guys, and welcome to number 16 of the Derby Career Mode Live. And to start off this episode, we are in a brand new season. It is the third season, technically 2.5, because we did kind of start halfway through one of them. But in this season, we have got Europa League football. That was one thing I really wanted. I wanted us to have a little bit more in this career mode. And yeah, Europa League football, I think that'll be really good. It's a really good jam-packed first month of August there with Bournemouth, Swansea. That team, I'm not too sure who they are. Maybe they're Norwegian or something. West Brom, and then finishing off with Chelsea in the window. And yeah, I think we've got a really good season on our hands. Some great teams in the league this year. I think Leicester, Watford and West Brom are back up from the Championship, so no other new teams. And I think West Ham did get relegated, so we've got some really good transfer targets to potentially look at. So looking at my shortlist now, I've actually put a load of bids in for some players, and hopefully they do come back positive. Literally everyone on here that we can afford. This guy Matt, a little bit too expensive. He would be quite expensive. Ranocchia, I think I'm just going to remove him because he's like at that point he's not going to grow, and he's not good enough even to get into the first team anyway. So one player I really want to get, and I've always tried to get, is Mikel Antonio from West Ham. And now that he has been relegated down to the Championship, I think just putting a £4 million price tag in for him would be really good, because he'd be a solid player. And we can always sell others if we need to. And unfortunately, I did actually put Akiteke into this deal. The very good player. Like I don't understand why they're not interested in the player. He's a really solid player. Probably goes up to at least an 84 and maybe even more. So I'm not too sure why West Ham haven't accepted that. It's a very nice deal. But we'll try someone else. Maybe Sarabia. As you can see here, we've had a £2 million bid in for Diafra Sakho accepted from West Ham. So that's a really good deal, and I think obviously in his last year of his contract would be a good replacement for Emenike, who I'm going to try and look and move on. And yeah, that's a really good solid player if we do bring him in. So we've had a deal here from Sunderland accepted, 2.5 million plus Sarabia. So Sarabia is actually like 77 rated, and Barini's a little bit more versatile. He can play in the striker plus the winger position, so I think he'd be a lot more beneficial in our current formation. I'll give him crucial because I think he's a really nice player, Fabio Barini, and just gives the team a little bit more. So one player here as well, Sadio Mane, I would really like to bring him in. Maybe we could do a straight swap with Akiteshe. He is in his last year of his contract, but we could just put a bid in. I'm going to try that actually. I'll put a £6 million bid, and if they accept that, then that'll be a cracking deal. So we've got another bid in here for Jamie Vardy from Reading this time, 3.5 million. I'm just going to put it up to 10, as I don't really want to get him. Obviously, Keogh does want to leave the club. They have matched his value, but I'll go like 250 grand more just so we can get a little bit more. And obviously Crystal Palace, kind of our rival team, so we don't really want to be selling them to them. So we've got a transfer offer in for Marcus Olsen. It is from Bolton, and we'll stick an extra 100k on that. I don't mind like losing him for 50 grand less than what he's worth, but I don't want to lose too much money on these players. So we have at the 6 million plus Emenike accepted for Gilavwagi, and I think that's a really good deal because I don't really like Emenike, so getting rid of him, very good. 6 million on top of that, I think that's a bargain of a deal because his value is 6 million. So we have had another deal for Emenike involved in accepted for Kieran Trippier, 6 million. I think out of the two though, out of Trippier and Gilavwagi, I think Gilavwagi's a lot more of a better player. So we have also had the 4 million for Mikel Antonio accepted from West Ham. Really good deal there. If we could bring him in, that would be absolutely fantastic. Really good attacking player, can just bring in a load of pace and power. Also, the 2.5 plus Sarabia deal for Barini has been accepted, and I think Barini would be a really nice fun player to have in the squad. Obviously can play in the left forward or the right forward position, plus in the striker position, would do a very good job. And I don't know, Sarabia, I do quite like him, so we're going to wait for a little bit. Can't believe what I've just seen. Sadio Mane, he's in his last year of his contract, granted, but for 6 million, I think that is one of the greatest deals ever if we can get him to accept that contract, because that is a bargain of a deal. 25-year-old, almost 80 rated, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So we have got some really good players, like all of them above 75 rated, and I think straight away I just want to bring in Mikel Antonio. He's a quality player. I've always wanted to bring him in, and yeah, I'm just going to accept that because I think that's a bargain of a deal for a very good player, and I think bringing him into the club, it'll just give us a few more options. Obviously Barini, kind of a similar player, but kind of not at the same time, and we could do with moving on Sarabia, to be honest, because he isn't the best in the world, in my honest opinion. And obviously the former Forest player, very versatile left mid, right mid, and of course in the striker position. I'm not too sure where Leeds United have got £10 million from, but apparently they have, and they're going to try and sign Nathan Redmond, who we did kind of get a deal in for towards the end of the January transfer window. I think it was a straight swap deal, which we declined in the end, but we have got a couple of transfers offers here for some very good players, and I think we're going to loan out Johnny Russell, as I don't use him, and I still want to kind of keep him because maybe one day we'll need a backup winger, and he'll be there for us. Arsenal accepted the 2.9 million for Carl Jenkinson, so as long as he accepts the contract, I think that'll be a great improvement in that right back position. A quality player, only 25 years old. So we have the deal accepted here for Gilavawagi, the MNEK plus 6 million. But we have got a very similar deal here with Kieran Trippier, who would be a really good right back option. It's just whether I want to spend that much money on a right back, whereas we could just get Gilavawagi and then get Carl Jenkinson, who's not that much worse than Kieran Trippier. So I think that's what we'll do, because I think Gilavawagi will just help out the midfield a lot more. Obviously, it does mean George Thorne will be sat on the bench, which I kind of don't want to do, you know. I kind of just want to keep how the team is in the midfield department and just go for Kieran Trippier, you know. I think that, I don't know, it's a really tough choice. So there you go, contract accepted for Carl Jenkinson. Now it's just who we accept it, because what we could do is get Kieran Trippier, keep the midfield how it is at the moment, which I kind of don't want to do because I'm really liking how we're doing with Thorne, Allen and Hughes. I think that midfield trio, one of the best ever seen. But then what we could do is always just put Gilavawagi on the bench and bring him on for the last like 25 minutes of the game, lock up shop, and yeah, I don't know, that's the thing with when you do sign a better player, it does get rid of players like George Thorne, who isn't even that bad. Like, you look at his stats, I know defensively could be a little bit better, sliding tackle stat, but I just love him as a player. Like, he's a lovely little player in that midfield, and don't really want to get rid of it. So I think looking at this deal now, you got 3 million for Jenkinson, and then you've got what, like nearly 9 for Trippier. So I don't think he's worth an extra 6 million on top of Carl Jenkinson, who is younger. And yeah, I think we'll just bring in Jenkinson and Gilavawagi, because I think that's what we'll do. So yeah, Aston Villa accepted the 2.6 million for Emenike, so we'll just add that money to any deals that we did have in the pipeline with him involved. So as you can see there, Mane has accepted his 80 grand a week wages. So we have got 10 million left, which is really nice, but I think it's a no-brainer. You have to accept that deal. Sadio Mane, quality player, and he can fit in quite a few positions. Like, we've got some really good attacking options now. It's just who we drop from the bench. Like, we've got Bennett, who's 73 rated. So Chelsea have accepted the 4.6 million for Andreas Christensen, who is a really good youngster. Like, I wouldn't mind bringing him in. I'm going to give him crucial, you know, because he's the same rating as Tommy Smith. So if them two start competing, then that'll be good. The contract offer has been accepted for Andreas Christensen, also Bridcut, but I don't think Bridcut's the player that I really want. I think Christensen, though, really good youngster, would be great for the future of this club. Obviously, same rating as our current centre-back, Smith, so he'd go straight into the club. So yeah, that's a great signing. Put him onto the bench instead of Shackle, who is probably going to go to like a 70 rated player by the end of the season. But yeah, you look at them stats, compare him to Smith, heading not quite there, but I think in terms of defensively, yeah, a lot better stats. +5 sliding tackle, +4 in the standing tackle. But I think his only issue is really strength, maybe 68 strength. Not quite the best, but he's obviously only young, so he will potentially grow. So we have got our first game of the season against Bournemouth, but I'm going to actually wait till the next episode, because I think we've done enough in this episode. We've made some really good, cracking signings. Mane, for one, that is an incredible signing, one of the best I've made. Only 6 million for a player that's 25 years old and such a quality player. I really can't complain with that. So yeah, looking at our bench, I think we've got some really good players down here. Obviously, as well, like, you got Forestieri, Sarabia, really good quality players that we could do with moving on, and then potentially get a really good player if we do manage to sell those two. We have got the oldies down here, Bryson and Shackle, who we do kind of need to replace in the near future. Yeah, we've got plenty of youngsters as well, like all these lot on the bench, that should be able to grow quite nicely. So I don't think we do need to make any more signings, really. Maybe just wait until the January transfer window, see what we need, and then we'll go from there. So I think the signings that we have made, absolutely fantastic. So if you did enjoy this episode, make sure you do smash the like button, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and see you soon. Bye.